23 black celebrities and their star children. What if the world's biggest legends left behind more than unforgettable music and fame? What if their greatest legacy was the children who had to live in their enormous shadows, from Grammy-winning icons and rock and roll pioneers to hip-hop superstars? These famous black families reveal stories of love, sacrifice, heartbreak, and incredible determination that most fans have never heard. Some children carried their parents' legacy to even greater heights, while others fought lifelong battles simply to be recognized for who they truly were. Stay with us until the very end, because one family's journey may completely change how you view legacy itself. Before we begin, subscribe to Golden Black Legends and tell us in the comments which legendary black family has inspired you the most. Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole. Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole share one of the most inspiring father and daughter stories in music history, a legacy built on extraordinary talent, remarkable perseverance, and the determination to overcome unimaginable personal struggles. Born in 1919 in Montgomery, Alabama, Nat King Cole rose from humble beginnings to become one of the greatest vocalists and jazz pianists of the 20th century. With timeless classics including Mona Lisa, Nature Boy, and Unforgettable, he sold millions of records and broke historic racial barriers when the Nat King Cole Show debuted in 1956, making him the first black American to host a nationally televised variety program. Although the groundbreaking show lasted only a little over a year because many national advertisers refused to sponsor a black host, Nat never allowed discrimination to diminish his dignity or artistry. His influence permanently changed American popular music before his death from lung cancer on February 15, 1965, at the age of just 45. Natalie Cole was only 15 years old when she lost her father, a tragedy that shaped the rest of her life. Rather than relying on his legendary reputation, she worked to establish her own identity. During the mid-1970s, she became a star with Grammy-winning hits such as This Will Be Inseparable and Sophisticated Lady. However, fame also brought painful personal battles. Natalie publicly acknowledged struggling with heroin, crack cocaine, and alcohol addiction during the late 1970s and early 1980s. After entering rehabilitation in 1983, she gradually rebuilt both her health and career, becoming an advocate for recovery and proving that redemption was possible. Their greatest musical connection arrived in 1991 with Unforgettable, With Love. Using modern recording technology, Natalie performed alongside her late father's original vocals on the title track Unforgettable. The album sold more than 7 million copies worldwide, reached #1 on the Billboard 200, won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, and earned 7 Grammy Awards. More importantly, it introduced Nat King Cole's music to a new generation while allowing Natalie to honor the father whose influence had never left her heart. Natalie Cole passed away on December 31, 2015 at age 65 from heart failure complicated by pulmonary arterial hypertension and idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis. Together, Nat King Cole and Natalie Cole left behind far more than chart-topping songs. Their story demonstrates that while legendary talent can inspire future generations, true greatness is defined by resilience, integrity, and the courage to transform personal pain into music that continues to touch millions around the world. Will Smith and Jaden Smith. Will Smith and Jaden Smith have become one of Hollywood's most recognizable father and son duos. But their story is defined less by controversy than by the challenge of building two successful careers under the same spotlight. Before becoming an Academy Award-winning actor, Will transformed himself from Grammy-winning rapper The Fresh Prince into one of the biggest box office stars in the world through films such as Independence Day, Men in Black Alley, and The Pursuit of Happiness. By the time Jaden was born in 1998, his father had already become one of the most influential entertainers of his generation, creating enormous expectations for any child who carried the Smith name. Jaden's breakthrough came in 2006 when he starred alongside Will in The Pursuit of Happiness. His natural, heartfelt performance earned widespread praise and proved he possessed genuine acting talent rather than simply benefiting from family connections. 4 years later, he led The Karate Kid 2010, which grossed more than $359 million worldwide, becoming one of the highest-grossing family films of the year. He later reunited with his father in After Earth while simultaneously building careers in music, fashion, and business, showing an independent, creative spirit from an early age. As he matured, Jaden became known for challenging traditional ideas about fashion and self-expression. His willingness to wear gender-neutral clothing and reject conventional stereotypes sparked widespread public discussion. However, many sensational claims circulated online about his personal life have never been supported by credible evidence. Rather than focusing on rumors, both Will and Jaden have consistently emphasized acceptance, creativity, and the importance of allowing young people to define themselves on their own terms. Their relationship has also evolved publicly over the years. Will has openly admitted that becoming a better father required learning to support rather than control his children, while Jaden has expressed gratitude for the freedom his parents gave him to pursue his own interests. Together, they have collaborated on films, charitable initiatives, and environmental projects, including Jaden's Just Water Company. Today, Will Smith and Jaden Smith represent two generations connected by talent but driven by different ambitions. Their story is not about living in the shadow of fame, it is about proving that while a legendary surname may create opportunities, lasting success still depends on originality, discipline, resilience, and the courage to forge an independent identity. Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley. Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley represent one of the most influential musical legacies ever created by a father and son. Bob Marley transformed reggae from a Jamaican genre into a worldwide cultural movement using songs such as One Love, No Woman, No Cry, Redemption Song, and Three Little Birds to spread messages of peace, equality, and freedom. His influence reached far beyond music, making him an international symbol of social justice and Jamaican identity. Yet at home he was also raising a large family, and among his many children, David Nestor Ziggy Marley would become the one most closely associated with carrying his father's extraordinary legacy. Born on October 17, 1968, Ziggy spent his childhood surrounded by rehearsals, recording sessions, and international tours. Music was a natural part of everyday life, but so were the enormous expectations attached to the Marley name. Everything changed on May 11, 1981, when Bob Marley died from melanoma at just 36 years old. Ziggy was only 12, suddenly facing life without his father, while the world continued celebrating Bob as one of history's greatest musicians. Rather than trying to imitate his father, Ziggy gradually established his own artistic identity. As the leader of Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, he recorded internationally successful albums featuring songs like Tomorrow People and Look Who's Dancing. Throughout his career, Ziggy has won multiple Grammy Awards, both with the Melody Makers and as a solo artist, demonstrating that his accomplishments were earned through talent, dedication, and creativity rather than inherited fame. His music blends reggae with pop rock and world influences while preserving the humanitarian spirit that defined his father's work. Outside music, Ziggy has become a passionate advocate for children's health education, environmental conservation, and global humanitarian causes. He has consistently emphasized that honoring Bob Marley means continuing the values his father represented rather than simply repeating his sound. More than 4 decades after Bob Marley's passing, the Marley name remains one of the most respected in music history. Bob inspired millions by changing the sound of popular music, while Ziggy proved that preserving a legendary legacy does not require becoming a copy. Instead, he built a distinguished career through authenticity, compassion, and artistic excellence, ensuring that the Marley family's influence continues to inspire audiences around the world. Lauryn Hill and Cilla Marley. Lauryn Hill and Cilla Marley represent one of the most fascinating mother and daughter stories in modern music, blending extraordinary artistic talent with the challenges of growing up in one of entertainment's most famous families. Lauryn Hill became an international icon through her work with the Fugees before releasing The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill in 1998, an album that won 5 Grammy Awards in one night and sold more than 20 million copies worldwide. Her thoughtful songwriting, powerful vocals, and fearless social commentary transformed her into one of the most influential artists of her generation. At the height of her success, she gradually stepped away from mainstream celebrity life, choosing to focus more on family and personal beliefs. Born in 1998, Cilla Marley grew up surrounded by music, creativity, and enormous public expectations. As the daughter of Lauryn Hill and Rohan Marley, the son of reggae legend Bob Marley, she inherited two of the most celebrated family names in black music history. Rather than pursuing singing immediately, Cilla established herself as a successful fashion model, appearing in campaigns for Chanel, Calvin Klein, and other international brands while developing her own artistic identity. In 2020, Cilla attracted significant public attention after speaking openly about her childhood during a social media discussion. She described experiencing strict discipline and emotional challenges while growing up, emphasizing that fame does not protect families from personal struggles. Her comments generated widespread media coverage, but both supporters and critics acknowledged her honesty in discussing difficult experiences. Importantly, Cilla never attempted to erase her mother's achievements. Instead, she has consistently expressed admiration for Lauryn's musical genius while explaining that every family has complexities beyond what the public sees. Today, Lauryn continues performing selected concerts while remaining one of the most respected figures in hip-hop and soul music. Cilla, meanwhile, has expanded her career into modeling, creative projects, and public speaking. Together, their story illustrates that extraordinary artistic legacies often come with unique pressures. Despite personal challenges and constant public attention, Lauryn Hill and Cilla Marley continue demonstrating resilience, independence, and the courage to define their relationship on their own terms rather than allowing headlines to write their family's history. Richard Pryor and Richard Pryor Jr. Richard Pryor and Richard Pryor Jr. share a story shaped by extraordinary comedy, painful family struggles, and an enduring effort to understand one another beyond the public spotlight. Widely regarded as one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time, Richard Pryor revolutionized comedy through brutally honest storytelling about race addiction, poverty, and personal failure. His groundbreaking albums, television appearances, and films, including Silver Streak, Stir Crazy, and Brewster's Millions, permanently changed American entertainment by inspiring generations of comedians from Eddie Murphy to Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Growing up as the son of such a legendary figure was both a privilege and a challenge for Richard Pryor Jr. His father's demanding career often meant long periods away from home, while public attention frequently overshadowed private family life. As an adult, Richard Pryor Jr. chose to speak honestly about those experiences, writing about both the affection he felt for his father and the complicated realities of growing up within a famous household marked by addiction, multiple marriages, and constant media attention. One of the most difficult chapters in their family story involved Richard Pryor's long battle with multiple sclerosis, which was diagnosed in the late 1980s. As the disease gradually limited the comedian's mobility and speech, his children witnessed the painful decline of a man whose energy and brilliance had once filled every stage he entered. Despite those heartbreaking circumstances, Richard Pryor Jr. remained proud of his father's unmatched contributions to comedy and often emphasized the importance of remembering the complete person rather than only the public legend. Richard Pryor passed away on December 10, 2005 at the age of 65 following a heart attack. His influence on stand-up comedy remains immeasurable, with countless performers continuing to credit him as their greatest inspiration. Richard Pryor Jr. has devoted much of his work to preserving that legacy while offering a more personal perspective on the man behind the microphone. Together, their story reminds audiences that even history's greatest entertainers are also fathers, sons, and family members whose lives extend far beyond the applause they receive on stage. Diana Ross and Tracee Ellis Ross. Diana Ross and Tracee Ellis Ross embody one of the most accomplished mother and daughter legacies in entertainment. Diana Ross first achieved worldwide fame as the lead singer of the Supremes, helping the legendary Motown group become one of the best-selling female vocal groups in history. After launching an equally successful solo career, she recorded timeless hits such as Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Touch Me in the Morning, and Endless Love, earning Grammy Lifetime Achievement recognition and becoming an enduring cultural icon. Throughout decades of success, she also balanced the responsibilities of raising a large family while maintaining one of the busiest careers in music. Tracee Ellis Ross, born in 1972, understood from an early age that living in the shadow of a superstar would bring extraordinary expectations. Rather than following her mother's path into music, she pursued acting, determined to establish an identity built entirely on her own abilities. Her breakthrough came with the sitcom Girlfriends, where she portrayed Joan Clayton for 8 successful seasons. Years later, she reached an even wider audience through Blackish, earning a Golden Globe Award in 2017 and multiple Emmy nominations for her performance. Despite their separate careers, Diana and Tracee have consistently demonstrated deep mutual respect. Tracee has often spoken about learning confidence, discipline, and professionalism by observing her mother's remarkable work ethic. At the same time, she has emphasized that Diana encouraged her children to discover their own passions rather than simply copying her success. Their relationship reflects admiration rather than competition, allowing both women to flourish independently. Outside their professional achievements, both have become influential voices promoting representation, confidence, and opportunities for Black women in entertainment. Diana's groundbreaking career opened doors during an era of significant racial barriers, while Tracee has continued expanding those opportunities through modern television, fashion, and business ventures. Together, Diana Ross and Tracee Ellis Ross demonstrate that lasting family legacies are built not only through extraordinary achievements, but also through encouragement, individuality, and respect across generations. Their story proves that true success is measured not by repeating the past, but by inspiring the next generation to create its own remarkable future. Eazy-E and Eric Darnell Wright Jr. Eazy-E and Eric Darnell Wright Jr., better known as Lil Eazy-E, represent one of hip-hop's most enduring father and son legacies. As the founder of Ruthless Records and a founding member of NWA, Eazy-E helped transform rap music during the late 1980s. His fearless storytelling and business vision played a central role in bringing West Coast hip-hop to global audiences through landmark albums such as Straight Outta Compton and Easy Does It. Although controversial at times, his influence on music culture and the rap industry remains undeniable. Everything changed in March 1995 when Eazy-E was hospitalized and publicly announced that he had been diagnosed with AIDS. Only weeks later, on March 26, 1995, he died from complications related to the illness at the age of 30. His sudden death shocked the music world and left behind a young family, including his son, Eric Darnell Wright Jr., who was only 10 years old at the time. Growing up without his father, Lil Eazy-E learned about his legacy through family members, recordings, documentaries, and millions of fans who continued celebrating Eazy-E's contributions to hip-hop. Determined to honor that legacy, Lil Eazy-E pursued a career as a rapper and entrepreneur. Rather than attempting to imitate his father's style completely, he developed his own approach while keeping the right family name closely connected to West Coast rap history. He has also participated in charitable initiatives focused on HIV/AIDS awareness, using his family's experience to encourage education and prevention for future generations. Over the years, Lil Eazy-E has publicly discussed legal disputes surrounding his father's estate and the management of Ruthless Records, emphasizing the importance of protecting Eazy-E's musical legacy. Despite those challenges, he has consistently spoken with admiration about a father he barely had the opportunity to know personally. Today, the story of Eazy-E and Lil Eazy-E is ultimately one of resilience. One man helped change hip-hop forever before his life ended tragically young, while the other has spent decades preserving that legacy with respect and determination. Their journey reminds audiences that although legends may leave too soon, their influence can continue inspiring future generations through family music and history. Quincy Jones and Rashida Jones. Quincy Jones and Rashida Jones represent one of the most accomplished father and daughter partnerships in modern entertainment, proving that creativity can flourish across generations while taking completely different forms. Quincy Jones spent more than 7 decades shaping popular music as a composer, arranger, producer, and entrepreneur. From producing Michael Jackson's legendary albums Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad to working with Frank Sinatra, Ray Charles, and countless other icons, Quincy earned 28 Grammy Awards from 80 nominations, making him one of the most honored figures in music history. His influence reached far beyond recording studios, extending into film scores, television production, philanthropy, and cultural leadership. Born in 1976, Rashida Jones inherited a remarkable artistic legacy through her father and actress Peggy Lipton. Rather than entering the music industry, she chose acting and screenwriting, determined to build a career based on her own talents. After graduating from Harvard University, Rashida steadily earned recognition through television series including The Office and Parks and Recreation, where her intelligence, humor, and understated performances made her a fan favorite. She later expanded into writing and producing, co-writing Toy Story 4 and directing the acclaimed documentary Quincy, which explored her father's extraordinary life and career. Despite Quincy's worldwide fame, Rashida has often explained that her parents encouraged curiosity and education instead of pressuring their children to follow a particular career. Their relationship has always reflected mutual admiration, with Quincy expressing pride in Rashida's independent achievements, while she has frequently described her father as a constant source of inspiration rather than intimidation. Together, they have collaborated on charitable projects, documentaries, and conversations about race, culture, and creativity. Rashida's thoughtful storytelling complements Quincy's lifelong commitment to breaking artistic boundaries and mentoring future generations. Today, Quincy Jones and Rashida Jones represent a family legacy built not only on extraordinary success, but also on intellectual curiosity, discipline, and artistic independence. Their story demonstrates that while legendary parents may open doors, lasting respect is earned through originality, hard work, and the willingness to create a path uniquely your own. Marvin Gaye and Marvin Gaye III. Marvin Gaye and Marvin Gaye III share a family story marked by extraordinary musical brilliance, heartbreaking tragedy, and the continuing responsibility of preserving one of soul music's greatest legacies. Marvin Gaye transformed American music through timeless recordings such as What's Going On, Let's Get It On, Sexual Healing, and Mercy. Mercy Me, The Ecology. His ability to combine social commentary with emotional honesty made him one of Motown's most influential artists and a defining voice of the 1970s. Yet behind the remarkable success were personal struggles involving financial difficulties, substance abuse, and family conflict that eventually overshadowed his final years. Marvin Gaye III was born into a household where music and fame were inseparable parts of daily life. As the eldest son of one of the world's greatest singers, he witnessed both the extraordinary highs of international success and the painful challenges that accompanied celebrity. Everything changed on April 1, 1984, when Marvin Gaye was fatally shot by his father during a domestic dispute just one day before his 45th birthday. The shocking tragedy devastated the family and permanently altered the lives of his children. Rather than pursuing a recording career identical to his father's, Marvin Gaye III became deeply involved in protecting and managing the Marvin Gaye estate. Over the years, he has participated in projects honoring his father's music while supporting efforts to preserve one of soul music's most valuable catalogs. Like many members of famous families, he has also experienced public legal and financial challenges, but his commitment to preserving his father's artistic legacy has remained consistent. Decades after Marvin Gaye's passing, his influence continues to shape artists across multiple genres, from R&B and hip-hop to pop and gospel. Marvin Gaye III has often emphasized the importance of remembering his father not only as a legendary performer, but also as a complex human being whose music continues inspiring millions. Together, their story reflects both the rewards and burdens of extraordinary fame. Marvin Gaye created a musical legacy that changed popular culture forever, while Marvin Gaye III continues ensuring that future generations understand the enduring significance of his father's remarkable life and timeless artistry. Sam Cooke and Linda Womack. Sam Cooke and Linda Womack share a remarkable family story connecting two generations of American soul music through resilience, songwriting, and artistic excellence. Sam Cooke is widely regarded as one of the founding fathers of soul music, transforming popular music with unforgettable classics including You Sent Me Cupid, Chain Gang, Wonderful World, and A Change Is Gonna Come. Beyond his extraordinary voice, Cooke became one of the first Black artists to exercise significant control over his publishing rights and business affairs, helping pave the way for future generations of musicians. His life ended tragically on December 11, 1964, when he was fatally shot in Los Angeles at only 33 years old, leaving behind a lasting musical legacy and a young family. His daughter Linda Womack was still a child when she lost her father. As she matured, she inherited not only his musical gifts, but also the challenge of growing up without one of soul music's greatest voices. Together with her husband, Cecil Womack, Linda formed the acclaimed songwriting duo Womack and Womack. Their songs blended soul, gospel, R&B, and pop influences while earning international recognition. Their biggest success, Teardrops, became a worldwide hit in 1988 and remains one of the defining songs of its era. Linda's personal life also connected two influential musical families. She married Cecil Womack, the younger brother of Bobby Womack. Years earlier, Bobby Womack had controversially married Sam Cooke's widow, Barbara Campbell, shortly after Cooke's death. Although that chapter attracted significant public attention, Linda built her own career through songwriting and performance rather than allowing family history to define her achievements. Throughout her career, Linda has consistently demonstrated that her success was earned through talent, dedication, and creative partnership. While she proudly honors her father's extraordinary influence, she established an artistic identity that stands on its own merits. Today, Sam Cooke and Linda Womack represent two generations connected by music perseverance and innovation. One transformed soul music forever through his unforgettable voice, while the other extended that legacy through timeless songwriting, proving that artistic greatness can continue evolving across generations without simply repeating the past. Muddy Waters and Big Bill Morganfield. Muddy Waters and Big Bill Morganfield represent one of the most authentic father and son legacies in blues history, connecting the roots of Delta blues with modern generations determined to preserve its timeless spirit. Born McKinley Morganfield in Mississippi in 1913, Muddy Waters transformed American music by bringing Delta blues to Chicago, where electric guitars and powerful rhythms created an entirely new sound. Classics such as Hoochie Coochie Man, Manish, Boy, Got My Mojo Working, and I'm Ready influenced countless artists including the Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, Led Zeppelin, and Jimi Hendrix. Today, he is universally recognized as one of the architects of modern blues and rock music. His son, William Big Bill Morganfield, inherited not only his father's surname but also his passion for the blues. Unlike many children of famous musicians, however, Big Bill did not immediately pursue a professional music career. He worked outside the entertainment industry for many years before fully dedicating himself to performing the music his father had helped create. That later beginning gave him a deep appreciation for the responsibility of carrying one of the most respected names in blues history. Rather than attempting to imitate Muddy Waters note for note, Big Bill developed his own performance style while honoring the traditions established by his father. Through international tours and albums such as Rising Sun, Born Lover, and Bloodstains on the Wall, he has introduced classic Chicago blues to new audiences while remaining faithful to its original spirit. Critics have consistently praised his powerful vocals, commanding stage presence, and sincere respect for the genre's history. Big Bill has also participated in festivals, educational programs, and interviews celebrating Muddy Waters' enormous influence on American music. His work has helped preserve an important cultural legacy, while reminding younger listeners of the foundations upon which modern rock, blues, and rhythm and blues were built. Together, Muddy Waters and Big Bill Morganfield illustrate how musical heritage can be preserved without becoming trapped in the past. One revolutionized the blues through innovation and determination, while the other continues carrying that legacy forward with authenticity, humility, and an enduring commitment to one of America's greatest musical traditions. Miles Davis and Aaron Davis. Miles Davis and Aaron Davis share a father and daughter story rooted in extraordinary musical genius, personal resilience, and a commitment to preserving one of jazz's greatest legacies. Widely regarded as one of the most innovative musicians of the 20th century, Miles Davis transformed jazz repeatedly throughout his 5-decade career. From Kind of Blue, the best-selling jazz album of all time, to groundbreaking recordings such as Bitches Brew and Sketches of Spain, he refused to remain artistically comfortable. His fearless experimentation influenced generations of musicians across jazz, rock, funk, hip-hop, and contemporary music. Despite worldwide acclaim, Davis also struggled with addiction, health problems, and the enormous pressures that accompanied his remarkable career. His daughter Aaron Davis experienced both the privilege and complexity of growing up as the child of a musical icon. Rather than pursuing the spotlight as a performer, she chose a quieter path focused on preserving her father's artistic legacy. Aaron has participated in documentaries, interviews, educational programs, and public discussions celebrating Miles Davis's contributions while offering audiences a more personal understanding of the man behind the trumpet. Her perspective has helped humanize an artist often remembered only for his revolutionary music. One of the greatest tragedies in Aaron's life occurred in 2009 when her young son Michael died unexpectedly at just 26 years old. She later transformed that devastating experience into advocacy by founding the Michael O.D. Brown Memorial Foundation, promoting grief awareness, suicide prevention, and mental health support. Her work demonstrated remarkable resilience and reflected values of compassion and service beyond the music world. Miles Davis passed away on September 28, 1991 at the age of 65 after suffering complications from pneumonia, respiratory failure, and a stroke. His influence continues, shaping countless musicians decades later. Erin has remained dedicated to ensuring that future generations appreciate not only her father's extraordinary artistic achievements, but also the complexity of his personal journey. Together, Miles Davis and Erin Davis represent a legacy defined by innovation, perseverance, and the enduring power of family to preserve history while inspiring hope for the future. Donny Hathaway and Lala Hathaway. Donny Hathaway and Lala Hathaway represent one of the most respected father and daughter legacies in soul and R&B history. Donny Hathaway possessed one of the most expressive voices of his generation, blending gospel, soul, jazz, and classical influences into unforgettable recordings. Songs including A Song for You, The Ghetto, Someday We'll All Be Free, and his legendary duets with Roberta Flack established him as one of the finest vocalists of the 1970s. Behind the remarkable artistry, however, Hathaway quietly struggled with paranoid schizophrenia, a condition that affected both his health and career despite continued musical brilliance. On January 13, 1979, Donny Hathaway died at just 33 years old after falling from a New York hotel, ending one of soul music's most extraordinary careers far too soon. His daughter Lala Hathaway was only 10 years old when she lost her father. Although she had limited memories of him, his music became a lifelong source of inspiration rather than a burden. Instead of attempting to imitate his legendary voice, Lala carefully developed her own unique artistic identity. Over the following decades, Lala Hathaway established herself as one of contemporary R&B's most respected vocalists. Her remarkable 5-octave vocal range, technical mastery, and emotional delivery earned multiple Grammy Awards and collaborations with artists including Stevie Wonder, Prince, Herbie Hancock, Robert Glasper, and Snarky Puppy. Her unforgettable live performance of Something with Snarky Puppy, featuring simultaneous multi-note singing, amazed musicians worldwide and highlighted her exceptional vocal abilities. Throughout her career, Lala has consistently honored her father's legacy without allowing it to define her entire identity. She frequently performs Donny Hathaway classics while introducing audiences to original music that reflects her own creativity and artistic vision. Today, Donny Hathaway and Lala Hathaway symbolize two generations connected by extraordinary musical gifts and remarkable perseverance. Donny's timeless recordings continue inspiring singers around the world, while Lala has proven that honoring a legendary parent does not require living in their shadow. Together they demonstrate that genuine artistry, emotional honesty, and dedication to musical excellence can transcend generations. Eddie Levert and Gerald Levert. Eddie Levert and Gerald Levert share one of the most powerful father and son stories in R&B history, combining extraordinary musical success with heartbreaking personal loss. As the lead vocalist and co-founder of the O'Jays, Eddie Levert helped define the sound of Philadelphia soul through timeless classics including Love Train, Backstabbers, For the Love of Money, and Used to Be My Girl. His powerful voice and passionate stage presence made him one of the most respected singers of his generation, earning international acclaim over a career spanning more than 6 decades. Growing up surrounded by music, Gerald Levert inherited not only remarkable vocal ability but also an intense work ethic from his father. During the 1980s, he emerged as the lead singer of Levert alongside his brother Sean and friend Mark Gordon before launching an enormously successful solo career. Hits such as Baby, Hold On to Me, Thinking About It, Mr. Too Damn Good, and I'd Give Anything established Gerald as one of the leading male R&B vocalists of the 1990s and early 2000s. His rich emotional voice carried echoes of his father's style while maintaining a distinctive identity of its own. Their relationship extended beyond family into music. Eddie and Gerald frequently performed together, sharing stages and recording projects that showcased the deep respect they had for one another. Fans admired their natural chemistry, recognizing how both generations celebrated classic soul while embracing contemporary R&B. Tragedy struck on November 10, 2006, when Gerald Levert died unexpectedly at only 40 years old from complications related to prescription medications. His sudden passing devastated both his family and the music community. Eddie later spoke openly about the immense grief of losing a son while continuing to perform, describing music as one of the few places where healing remained possible. Today, Eddie Levert continues honoring Gerald's memory while performing with the OJs and celebrating his son's extraordinary achievements. Their story is one of love, mentorship, and resilience, reminding audiences that although life can end unexpectedly, a family's musical legacy can continue inspiring generations through timeless songs, unforgettable performances, and enduring emotional connections. James Brown and Darrell Brown. James Brown and Darrell Brown share a family story connected to one of the most influential figures in modern music. Known worldwide as the Godfather of Soul, James Brown revolutionized rhythm and blues through his electrifying performances, unmatched stage presence, and innovative musical style. Classics, including Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, I Got You, I Feel Good, Cold Sweat, and The Payback laid the foundation for funk music while profoundly influencing artists across soul, rock, hip-hop, and pop. His relentless work ethic and emphasis on precision transformed live performance into an art form admired throughout the world. Among Brown's children, Darrell Brown has remained one of the family members involved in preserving his father's legacy. Following James Brown's death on December 25, 2006, at the age of 73, disputes over the singer's estate attracted significant public attention. Like several members of the Brown family, Darrell became involved in legal proceedings concerning inheritance, charitable trusts, and the management of one of music's most valuable estates. Those lengthy legal battles reflected the complexity of protecting a legendary artist's legacy after his passing. Despite the public disputes, Darrell has consistently emphasized respect for his father's extraordinary achievements. James Brown's influence extends far beyond chart success, with countless performers from Michael Jackson and Prince to Bruno Mars and hip-hop producers crediting him as a defining inspiration. Preserving that legacy has become an important responsibility shared by his family. While Darrell has largely remained outside the spotlight compared with many celebrity children, his connection to James Brown continues attracting public interest because of the singer's immense historical significance. Rather than attempting to duplicate his father's remarkable career, Darrell has focused primarily on honoring the Brown family's place in American music history. Together, James Brown and Darrell Brown represent more than a famous surname. Their story illustrates both the extraordinary opportunities and difficult responsibilities that accompany being part of a legendary musical family. Through ongoing efforts to preserve James Brown's influence, the family continues ensuring that the revolutionary sound of the Godfather of Soul remains alive for future generations. Isaac Hayes and Isaac Hayes III. Isaac Hayes and Isaac Hayes III represent two generations connected by creativity, entrepreneurship, and an unwavering commitment to innovation. Isaac Hayes rose from humble beginnings in Memphis, Tennessee, to become one of the most influential figures in soul music. As a songwriter and producer at Stax Records, he co-wrote classics such as Soul Man and Hold On I'm Comin' before launching an extraordinary solo career. His groundbreaking albums, Hot Buttered Soul and Black Moses, redefined soul music by blending orchestral arrangements with powerful storytelling. In 1972, Hayes became the first black composer to win the Academy Award for Best Original Song for the unforgettable theme from Shaft, cementing his place in entertainment history. Growing up with such a legendary father, Isaac Hayes III understood that comparisons would be inevitable. Rather than pursuing fame as a singer, he chose a different path, focusing on music production, entrepreneurship, and digital technology. He founded Fanbase, a creator-focused social media platform designed to help artists monetize their work while maintaining greater ownership of their content. His vision reflects lessons learned from watching his father's lifelong struggle for artistic independence and fair business opportunities within the entertainment industry. Although Isaac Hayes III respects his father's remarkable achievements, he has consistently emphasized building a career based on his own ideas instead of relying solely on the Hayes family name. Following Isaac Hayes' passing on August 10, 2008, at the age of 65, his son became one of the family's strongest advocates for preserving his father's legacy. Through interviews, documentaries, and educational initiatives, he continues introducing younger audiences to the enormous cultural impact of one of soul music's greatest pioneers. Together, Isaac Hayes and Isaac Hayes III demonstrate how a family legacy can evolve across generations. One revolutionized soul music through unforgettable songs and cinematic innovation, while the other embraced technology and entrepreneurship to empower modern creators. Their story proves that true greatness is not measured only by personal success, but also by inspiring future generations to build upon an extraordinary foundation while confidently creating something entirely their own. Ray Charles and Ray Charles Robinson Jr. Ray Charles and Ray Charles Robinson Jr. share a father and son story that blends extraordinary musical achievement with honesty, resilience, and the complicated realities of family life. Ray Charles overcame enormous obstacles to become one of the greatest musicians of the 20th century. After losing his sight at the age of 7, he refused to let blindness limit his ambitions. By combining gospel, blues, jazz, country, and rhythm and blues, he created a revolutionary sound heard in timeless classics such as Georgia, On My Mind, Hit the Road, Jack, I Can't Stop Loving You, and What Did I Say? His influence permanently changed American popular music and earned him 17 Grammy Awards during his lifetime. Growing up as the son of such a legendary figure was both inspiring and challenging for Ray Charles Robinson Jr. While his father spent decades touring and recording around the world, family life was often complicated by long absences and Ray Charles' well-documented struggles with heroin addiction during the 1950s and early 1960s. Instead of hiding those realities, Robinson Jr. later wrote the memoir You Don't Know Me, Reflections of My Father, Ray Charles, offering readers a balanced portrait of the brilliant musician and the complex man behind the global fame. Throughout the book and subsequent interviews, Robinson Jr. emphasized that his father was neither perfect nor defined solely by his mistakes. He described Ray Charles as someone who deeply loved his family while carrying the enormous pressures of worldwide success. His honest perspective helped audiences better understand the human side of a musical icon without diminishing the extraordinary achievements that made Ray Charles one of history's greatest performers. Ray Charles passed away on June 10, 2004, at the age of 73 from complications related to liver disease. Since then, Robinson Jr. has remained committed to preserving his father's remarkable legacy through public appearances, educational programs, and historical projects. Together, Ray Charles and Ray Charles Robinson Jr. remind us that behind every legendary artist stands a family whose memories help preserve not only the music but also the character, struggles, and enduring humanity of the person who created it. Chuck Berry and Ingrid Berry. Chuck Berry and Ingrid Berry represent a father and daughter legacy rooted in the very foundation of rock and roll. Widely recognized as one of the architects of modern popular music, Chuck Berry transformed the sound of the 1950s with unforgettable songs including Johnny B. Good, Roll Over Beethoven, Maybelline, and Sweet Little 16. His energetic guitar style, vivid storytelling, and charismatic stage performances influenced generations of musicians from the Beatles and the Rolling Stones to Jimi Hendrix and Prince. Few artists have left a greater impact on 20th century music than Chuck Berry. Growing up with a father whose name became synonymous with rock and roll presented unique opportunities and challenges for Ingrid Berry. Rather than attempting to replicate Chuck Berry's legendary career, she developed her own musical identity while embracing her family's remarkable heritage. As a singer, songwriter, and performer, Ingrid has participated in concerts, tribute events, and projects honoring her father's extraordinary contributions to music. She has consistently spoken with admiration about his discipline, creativity, and relentless dedication to performing even well into his 80s. Following Chuck Berry's death on March 18, 2017 at the age of 90, Ingrid became one of the family members helping preserve his artistic legacy. She participated in public celebrations of his life and supported the release of Chuck, the final studio album completed shortly before his passing. The project served as a fitting conclusion to a career that lasted more than 6 decades and demonstrated Chuck Berry's lifelong passion for creating music. Although Ingrid has chosen a quieter career than her father, she remains an important guardian of the Berry family's musical history. Her efforts have helped younger audiences appreciate Chuck Berry's groundbreaking achievements while ensuring that his influence continues reaching future generations. Together, Chuck Berry and Ingrid Berry illustrate how artistic legacies can survive across generations. One changed the course of popular music forever through innovation and determination, while the other has dedicated herself to honoring that extraordinary history with respect, authenticity, and pride. The Notorious B.I.G. and Tiana Wallace. The Notorious B.I.G. and Tiana Wallace share one of hip-hop's most emotional father and daughter stories, shaped by remarkable success, devastating loss, and a lasting commitment to preserving an unforgettable legacy. Born Christopher Wallace, the Notorious B.I.G. became one of the greatest rappers in history despite a recording career that lasted only a few years. His landmark albums, Ready to Die and Life After Death, transformed East Coast hip-hop through vivid storytelling, lyrical brilliance, and unmatched charisma. Songs such as Juicy Big Poppa, Hypnotize, and Mo Money, Mo Problems remain defining classics that continue influencing artists around the world. Tiana Wallace was born in 1993 and was only 3 years old when her father was tragically killed in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles on March 9, 1997 at the age of 24. Although she had little opportunity to know him personally, she grew up surrounded by his extraordinary cultural influence. Rather than entering the music industry, Tiana pursued education before launching her own fashion brand, Notorious Clothing, inspired by her father's enduring legacy. Through her business, she sought to honor Christopher Wallace while expressing her own creativity instead of simply relying on his famous name. Over the years, Tiana has participated in documentaries, interviews, and commemorative events celebrating her father's life. She has consistently described learning about him through family stories, archival footage, and the millions of fans who continue celebrating his music. Her approach has always focused on preserving his memory with dignity rather than sensationalism. The Notorious B.I.G.'s influence has only grown since his death, with his recordings remaining among the most celebrated works in hip-hop history. Tiana's efforts to protect and honor that legacy have helped introduce new generations to the man behind the music while building a successful career of her own. Together, the Notorious B.I.G. and Tiana Wallace demonstrate that although a legendary life may end far too soon, its impact can continue through family creativity and an enduring commitment to preserving history. Their story is ultimately one of resilience, remembrance, and the lasting power of love across generations. Old Dirty Bastard and Young Dirty Bastard. Old Dirty Bastard and Young Dirty Bastard share one of hip-hop's most recognizable father and son legacies, built on originality, resilience, and an enduring connection to the Wu-Tang Clan. Born Russell Tyrone Jones, Old Dirty Bastard became famous for his unpredictable personality, unmistakable voice, and fearless creativity. As a founding member of the Wu-Tang Clan, he helped redefine East Coast hip-hop during the 1990s through landmark albums such as Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers and his acclaimed solo debut Return to the 36 Chambers, the Dirty Version. Songs including Shimmy Shimmy Ya and Brooklyn Zoo showcased an energetic style unlike anyone else in rap, making him one of the genre's most unforgettable personalities. Despite his extraordinary talent, Ol' Dirty Bastard also struggled with substance abuse and repeated legal problems that frequently interrupted his career. His son, Barson Jones, better known as Young Dirty Bastard, grew up watching millions admire his father's brilliance, while also witnessing the personal challenges that accompanied fame. Everything changed on November 13th, 2004, when Ol' Dirty Bastard died from an accidental drug overdose at just 35 years old. Losing his father at a young age became a defining moment that inspired Barson to continue the family's musical tradition. Rather than distancing himself from his father's legacy, Young Dirty Bastard embraced it with respect while gradually developing his own artistic identity. He has performed alongside surviving members of the Wu-Tang Clan during international tours and tribute concerts, earning praise for honoring his father's stage presence without attempting to become a simple imitation. His performances celebrate the original spirit of Ol' Dirty Bastard while introducing younger audiences to one of hip-hop's most influential voices. Today, Young Dirty Bastard continues recording music and representing the Wu-Tang legacy around the world. Together, Ol' Dirty Bastard and Young Dirty Bastard demonstrate that a family's musical influence can survive long after tragedy. One revolutionized rap through fearless originality, while the other continues preserving that remarkable legacy with dedication, authenticity, and deep respect for the father, whose voice permanently changed hip-hop history. Dr. Dre and Curtis Young. Dr. Dre and Curtis Young share a father and son story defined by separation, reconciliation, and a mutual passion for music. Born Andre Young, Dr. Dre became one of the most influential producers in history after helping launch gangsta rap with NWA before building an extraordinary solo career through albums such as The Chronic and 2001. Beyond his own recordings, he transformed modern hip-hop by producing legendary artists including Snoop Dogg, Eminem, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar, and many others. His business success also reached historic levels when Apple acquired Beats Electronics in 2014, making Dr. Dre one of the wealthiest figures in the music industry. Curtis Young was born in 1981 but spent much of his childhood without a close relationship with his father. The two did not truly reconnect until Curtis was already an adult, a reality both have discussed publicly. Rather than allowing that distance to define his future, Curtis chose to pursue music independently, determined to earn respect through his own work rather than relying solely on the famous Young surname. Performing under his own name, Curtis Young gradually established himself as a rapper and songwriter while openly acknowledging the influence of his father's groundbreaking career. Although comparisons to Dr. Dre have always been unavoidable, Curtis has consistently emphasized that building his own reputation requires patience, persistence, and originality. Their relationship has steadily improved over the years, reflecting reconciliation rather than resentment. Dr. Dre has continued supporting charitable initiatives, mentoring younger artists, and expanding his influence beyond music, while Curtis has remained committed to developing his own artistic career. Their story highlights the reality that even legendary musicians must navigate complicated family relationships away from public attention. Today, Dr. Dre and Curtis Young symbolize two generations connected by talent but shaped by different life experiences. One revolutionized hip-hop through innovation and business vision, while the other continues working to establish his own identity, proving that rebuilding family bonds can be just as meaningful as achieving professional success. Rev Run and Diggy Simmons. Rev Run and Diggy Simmons represent one of hip-hop's most successful father and son stories, combining musical achievement, family values, and personal growth across generations. As a founding member of Run DMC, Rev Run helped transform rap from an emerging cultural movement into a worldwide phenomenon during the 1980s. Classics such as It's Tricky, Walk This Way, and My Adidas introduced hip-hop to mainstream audiences while permanently changing popular music. Following his success with Run DMC, Joseph Simmons also became a minister, motivational speaker, author, and television personality presenting an image of faith, family, and responsibility. His son, Diggy Simmons, grew up in front of television audiences through the hit reality series Run's House. Viewers watched him mature from a curious teenager into a young man determined to build a career independent of his famous father. Instead of relying solely on the Simmons family name, Diggy developed his own skills as a rapper, songwriter, and actor. His 2012 debut album, Unexpected Arrival, demonstrated his commitment to establishing an individual artistic identity, while later acting roles, including Grownish, expanded his career beyond music. Throughout the years, Rev Run has consistently encouraged Diggy to pursue his own dreams while emphasizing education, discipline, and humility. Their relationship has been characterized by mutual respect rather than competition, with Rev Run serving as both father and mentor. Diggy has often credited his parents for allowing him to make his own decisions while providing guidance whenever challenges arose. Beyond entertainment, both have participated in charitable work, youth outreach, and public discussions about family faith and positive role models within the Black community. Their willingness to share both successes and everyday family experiences has made them relatable to audiences around the world. Today, Rev Run and Diggy Simmons represent a modern example of how fame can be balanced with strong family values. Their story demonstrates that while legendary parents may create opportunities, lasting achievement ultimately depends on personal dedication, integrity, and the courage to create a legacy that stands proudly beside rather than beneath the previous generation. Rev Run and Jojo Simmons. Rev Run and Jojo Simmons share a father and son relationship built on guidance, perseverance, and the challenge of creating an independent identity within one of hip-hop's most famous families. As a founding member of Run DMC, Rev Run helped shape the history of rap music while later becoming known for his inspirational messages about faith, family, and personal responsibility. His transition from global music icon to respected television personality allowed audiences to see another side of his life through Run's House, where he focused on parenting as much as performing. Joseph Jojo Simmons grew up with the unique experience of having millions of viewers watch his teenage years unfold on television. While that visibility created opportunities, it also brought enormous pressure to define himself beyond his father's legendary reputation. Jojo explored music, entrepreneurship, and television while gradually building confidence in his own abilities. Unlike many celebrity children, he has often spoken honestly about the emotional challenges of growing up under constant public attention and learning to measure success by personal growth rather than comparisons. As an adult, Jojo expanded his interests beyond entertainment, becoming involved in business ventures and family life. He has also appeared on reality television projects documenting his journey into fatherhood, demonstrating that his priorities have evolved from seeking fame to building stability and supporting his own family. Throughout these experiences, Rev Run has remained a consistent source of advice and encouragement, emphasizing accountability, kindness, and faith. The openness of their relationship has resonated with many viewers because it reflects both the privileges and responsibilities of growing up in a famous household. Instead of presenting perfection, they have shared real conversations about maturity, parenting, and overcoming life's obstacles together. Today, Rev Run and Jojo Simmons continue representing a positive example of family unity across generations. One helped revolutionize hip-hop while becoming a respected public mentor, and the other has worked steadily to establish his own identity as a businessman, television personality, and devoted father. Their story reminds audiences that a lasting family legacy is built not only through professional success, but also through love, guidance, and the willingness to grow together through every stage of life. As we reach the end of this remarkable journey, one question remains: is greatness truly inherited, or must every son and daughter earn it through their own choices? Some children embraced the weight of legendary family names and created inspiring careers of their own. Others struggled under impossible expectations, proving that fame can be both a priceless gift and a heavy burden. Which family story surprised you the most, and which legacy do you believe has had the greatest impact across generations? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your opinion. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, subscribe to Golden Black Legends, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unforgettable journey through Black history, music, film,